It's your girl, the Grown Woman Gamer, and today we're coming at you with another fire commentary. Today we're going to be talking about none other than Kanye West. But before I get into it, you know exactly what you need to do. Subscribe to the channel, follow your girl on Twitch, hit that notification bell, comment, and of course share if you care. So let's talk about Kanye. So I always start with something positive. Today will be no different. Kanye West used to be one of my favorite rappers to listen to when I was growing up. You know, I didn't grow up in a really super rough environment. You know, I came from a true working middle class family, and Kanye West was one of the first rappers that I listened to who I really felt represented my own experience as a young, aspirational black woman. And I definitely connected with his music, and I listened to it all throughout college, and I was very touched by a lot of what he had to say. This was early on in his career, and I would say the first few albums from The College Dropout and the next few albums after that. Love Kanye. His music was also very soulful, and if you ask me what my favorite type of music is, it's definitely hip hop and rap music because I grew up in that era. I grew up in the 90s. But soulful hip hop that has like a certain vibe and definitely elevates and raises your vibration. Like that's the type of hip hop music I like to listen to. So Kanye definitely falls within that. In fact, I think he's one of the people, especially in my generation, that really ushered in a different tone into hip hop. Definitely a departure from gangsta rap, which I could get with too. I've listened to like a lot of that music too, but let's just say I really like Kanye West's music, and I think he's a very, very talented person. People throw around the word genius. I don't know if I would give him that title, but my opinion on that doesn't really matter. The bottom line is he's an exceptionally creative and talented man who has contributed a lot as far as music, fashion, and culture. These are facts. Whether you like the guy or not, we got to give him credit for that. And of course, if you've been paying attention to the various entertainment news cycles, you know that Kanye has been embroiled in a, I guess, one-sided bitter divorce with his now soon-to-be ex-wife, Kim Kardashian. And a lot of things have happened that are troubling, you know. And just to be fair, Kanye West has done things that I personally, as a woman, wouldn't be comfortable with. Kim Kardashian has made it clear that at this time she is not interested in being with him and having a romantic relationship with him. Her primary concern is co-parenting her children and making sure that the children go through this transitional time and come out as unscathed as possible. So to that end, they currently don't have a custody agreement, and they're trying to work together to make sure that the children get to see both parents. And by all accounts, she's been facilitating that. Meanwhile, Kanye West has had some pretty visible, you could use the word tantrums, outbursts. I mean, there are a lot of words you could use for some of the things he's done. But he has moved, I guess he purchased a home across the street from her. He sent her this, a pickup truck, you know, the flatbed portion of the back, it was full of roses, and it had a message on the, my vision is crystal clear, and crystal and clear both had a K in it. Obviously a tribute to his now ex-wife slash baby mama, mother of his children. And he's gone on very public forums and stated that he feels or felt at the time that they should be together. And apparently, according to her, delayed the process of them being declared single, and has gone through several teams of lawyers. And it hasn't been a smooth process. Now, with that said, I've never gotten a divorce. But I can imagine, just from my own personal experience and the experiences of people that I know, that that's a challenging thing to go through. It's a difficult transition to make, and it does involve grief. So it's natural to me that there could be resistance. Maybe that could be one-sided or from both people. There's regret. I'm sure there's maybe even some embarrassment, anger, depression, sadness, conflicting emotions, feeling like part of you wants to move on, the other part of you wants to hold on. And with all of that, you have to believe that with kids involved, it makes it even more complicated and challenging. So I'm not going to discount how hard this must be for everyone involved. But the choices, some of Kanye's choices, and I could list the ones that I personally feel are problematic. I don't know if it's appropriate to move across the street from someone that you've recently divorced if you haven't had a conversation with them about that previously and come to an understanding that this is what's best for the children, because it could be seen not necessarily as stalking, but kind of encroaching on their private and personal space. Giving people lavish gifts when they've made it clear that they're not interested in really being involved with you in a romantic way is aggressive behavior. And it could, in the right situation, make a person feel very uncomfortable. Revealing text messages that are shared between you and the mother of your children that are related to your co-parenting of your children is, and to me, an invasion of privacy. And that observation could be meted out to either of these people, because Kim Kardashian, in defense of herself, has, I believe, released a few messages, not nearly as much as what Kanye has been doing. Publicly addressing how your children are being raised, and we're going to get back to that. To me, that is completely off limits and inappropriate. That's not really meant for everyone to be involved in or to know the gritty details of it. To me, that's, again, aggressive, very aggressive behavior, especially when your framing of the situation paints the other parent in a negative light, for billions, millions of people to know and kind of be involved in that. To me, that's completely inappropriate. Having a music video where you depict the now romantic interest of your ex as being beheaded or buried alive or killed, especially after you've made threats or veiled threats, I don't want to use this word, but PUSSYASS threats against the person that your now ex is dealing with. To me, even if you feel those feelings, if you feel that anger, putting it in a public forum is not only inappropriate, but it's also potentially detrimental to you, because if someone decides that they want to have a judge decide if that's an actual threat against that person's life, what if you get a restraining order, which makes it harder for you to see your children, or it could be even worse than that. And then if anyone has critical insight into your situation, threatening them in the same way. In the case of him and DL Hughley, all of this to me is just, again, I'm going to continue to use this word, inappropriate. But I wanted to address the thing with the kids. So Northwest, his eldest child, has a TikTok, which, according to her mother, is managed by Kim Kardashian herself, where nothing, I guess, can go out through this TikTok account unless she sees it and agrees that it's okay. And maybe there's some settings on there that are limiting whether or not people can comment or who can see it. I don't know. I don't know the details. And God knows I'm not on TikTok. How can you be a social media content creator and not be on TikTok? Because I'm an old lady. And like I said, I am a grown woman gamer. And maybe one day I'll get on over there. Shout out to all the TikTokers out there. You guys keep doing that good work. But he doesn't want his daughter on social media. Here's the thing, right? Kanye West is one of the most visible people in the world. Kim Kardashian is arguably the most visible person in the world, besides presidents and things like that. But as far as entertainers and celebrities go, these people are household names, A-list celebrities. Everybody knows who they are, and they're under a great deal of scrutiny because of that. Wanting to protect your children from all of the negative things that come with fame, because you know as soon as they do come of age, it's going to be open season on them anyway because of your fame. There's nothing wrong with that. And there's also nothing wrong with not wanting your babies to be on social media too young. Social media is a powerful tool. It's a part of our lives. That's not going to change, and I don't expect that. But children only get one opportunity in life to be children, and wanting to protect the innocence of your children so that they get to be kids as long as possible, especially when you're under as much of a magnifying glass as this family is, that's reasonable. What's unreasonable, or not even, I won't even use the word unreasonable. I'm going to go back to the word inappropriate. What's inappropriate to me is expressing these things on social media. If your issue, and this is hypocrisy at its finest, by the way, if your issue is that you don't feel that social media is an appropriate place for your children to be this young, particularly your daughter, who, in your opinion, is being presented as more mature or older than she is, the last thing that you want to do is get on a similar type of platform to air out your grievances. You think that publicly shaming this woman, this mother who does love her kids, there's nothing that Kim Kardashian has ever done, whether you like her or not, to demonstrate that she doesn't love her babies. She loves her children. So you're making her out to be a bad mother. That's not going to fare well or bode well for you if you're trying to figure out an amicable co-parenting relationship. The best way for you to go about making any changes to how your children engage social media is to use the lawyers that you're probably paying in the 8 figures yearly for. Use them to get something in writing with a family court judge. You can go and express to the judge exactly what I did. I'm highly visible. The mother's highly visible. We're under a great deal of scrutiny. My children, people are already interested in them. There's a lot of negative influences and negative dangers on social media. And I want to protect my daughter. And we need to set some parameters for how and if and when she can have her image be blasted through these platforms. And the other thing he said about her image being used, of course people are going to want to follow this girl because people are obsessed with this family. So he is right to be concerned, but I think the way has gone about it is not the way I would go about it, and I don't think it's the best way to go about it. And that's the thing that I really feel strongly about. I don't think that his concerns or his worries, his frustrations aren't completely valid. You know, if he feels like he wants his children to be at, what did he say, Sunday service every Sunday, to me, that's no different than families that feel like their kids need to be in church every Sunday. That's their version of church. That's sacred for people. A lot of Muslims will want their kids to be at mosque. Jews will want their kids to be at the synagogue. If you consider yourself a religious person, it's a very important thing to you to have your kids be brought up in a certain way. And I'm not saying Kanye is a religious person, because I know people come at me about the things we know about him, how he's jumping from woman to woman. That's not Christian. I'm not going to go there or get into that. At the end of the day, people have very strong feelings about how they want their kids to be exposed to faith and spirituality, and parents kind of need to get on the same page about that. It's not to me, that's not something that that shouldn't be negotiated. Well, no. Let me restate. It can be negotiated, but once you make a decision that you're going to agree with one parent or another that the kids need to be in church on Sunday, then that's what it is, unless the child is sick or unless there's an emergency. And there needs to be a good reason if they don't go. And I'm not a huge proponent of church or any type of religion, but I do know that that's a big thing for families. And clearly it's a thing for him, or maybe he's using it as a tactic again to kind of control and manipulate this woman, which you could argue that pretty well too. Either way, what I would suggest to Kanye, if he was my friend and he was interested in and wanted to hear an honest person tell him what they think about the situation, I would tell this man, listen, bro, what you're doing is not going to help you, because everything that you put out on social media, whether you take it down from Instagram 3 hours later or 15 minutes later, because people are really paying close attention, people are screen grabbing everything that you say and do. If you have a video, they're screen recording that. Every little thing you say, every little thing you do, it's being documented. And do not think for 2 seconds that Kim's lawyers are not doing exactly what I just said. Secondly, until you guys are at a point where everything is going smoothly, it's best to just keep as much of this out of the public eye as you can. Some things are going to become a matter of record because of the court system, but you should just move more quietly. If you have issues that boil up in you and you cannot control yourself to talk about them, you can even record yourself saying all this stuff and just keep it for your private records. I guarantee you there is at least one person that will listen to Kanye West ramble on about how he feels in any given moment. Call one of those people up. Do not make this a thing that's going to be mediated in the court of public opinion. Not only because this is detrimental to you in the long term in case you do end up sitting in front of a family court judge, but also because your babies are getting to an age where clearly they're starting to get access to devices and social media and things like that. They're going to these private schools where other kids are privy to these things, and you putting all this stuff out there and doing this extremely irrational, kind of unstable behavior online, it's embarrassing. And it doesn't reflect well for your kids either. Your kids are going to love you. Kids are so forgiving. But at the end of the day, that's just not the best thing to do if you're trying to put the babies first. Just keep it to yourself, man. You got to think, when you have kids, you got to really try to think about how your choices will ultimately affect them. And whether you're right or wrong, sometimes you have to say, well, that's not what's best for my kids. And trust and believe none of the public confrontation that he's having with Kim, with Pete Davidson, with D.L. Hughley, or anyone else who has an opinion about his situation. None of the public expression of his frustrations, his anger, his unwillingness to let go, none of that is going to help him in the long run. And trust and believe, after he puts it out there, I bet you he doesn't feel much better than he did before he put it out there. He's just waiting to see what the reaction is going to be. And Kim Kardashian, she's responding to him, but she's not giving him much energy back. So if the goal is to get some type of energy from her, she's not giving that up. So clearly this is not the way. But those are my thoughts. I hope Kanye can really take a step back, focus on himself, get the support system around him, whether it be professional support, along with good friends who he can be creative with, and kind of just give yourself some separation from all of this drama related to your divorce, as much as that's possible. And I wish him and everyone involved the best, because there are innocent children involved and they deserve better than the things that we've seen in these last couple of weeks. So those are my thoughts. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Feel free to get in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are. God bless this family. God bless you guys. And I'll be back soon. I'm out.